The cost of gas continues to fall. Which states have the lowest prices, and what else you can be doing to save your hard-earned money before you hit the road this summer.
Plus, giving hope when hope seems lost. How a partnership is giving several families a place to call home.
And where am I on Delmarva? That's for me to know and you to figure out. Coming up, we'll have all the clues plus the big reveal.
And Jeremiah Copeland is here to perform Wait Till You Hear This 13-year-old Sing.
Guess what? Delmarva Life starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hopple. Welcome to Delmarva Life from historic Studio D.
And as always, we would like to welcome our studio audience today. Give a round of applause. They are cool, and it is Friday.
It's payday for some of us?
It's payday for some of us. Does it get any better? I don't think so.
Can't happen. It's
no,
hot.
It's hot outside.
Can you believe it's only the second day of this next heat wave?
Really?
It's only the second day. This thing's supposed to go on for another week.
Oh my goodness.
Before it finally lightens up. And yeah, we're going to go through the whole same thing all over again. We know you get tired of hearing it, but somebody needs to drink water, take air conditioning breaks, take it easy outside. You're just not ready for the kind of heat and humidity we're going to get. Check on the elderly, check on your friends.
Right, check on your pets and your friends' pets. Don't leave your car or your children in the car. I mean, just check your car before you get out. Make sure, you know, everything's out.
What did Renee call that, an idiot check?
An idiot check.
Check the back seat whenever you get out. Another story came out today about a guy that, the baby was okay, but he got out. He doesn't usually drop the baby off, so he's thinking about what he's got to do during the day.
In autopilot.
In autopilot, and he got out and he left the baby in the car.
Yeah.
And it's hot. The baby's okay.
Baby's fine.
But just something keep in mind. Double check each other. Did you check the back seat? Make sure you dropped off the baby. Oh yeah, thanks.
So how are you going to stay cool this weekend?
Every weekend since I have been planning to put the kayak in the water.
Yeah. And you
I haven't done it yet.
What's wrong with you?
Well, when I get home, I get this honeydew list.
Oh, it's too hot for honeydew
that I absolutely
lists.
love to do, sweetheart. Please don't get the wrong idea. I love doing all those chores around the house. So
it's a little too hot for honeydew lists. Right.
She said that.
And just make the check out to Lisa Bryant.
Lisa Bryant.
Well, we're going to talk some hot topics. I mean, that was a pretty hot topic right there. I got Jimmy out of doing his honeydew list.
Thank you. Well done. We'll see if that works. I'll pay you on Monday if indeed it works out.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember, gosh, I guess it was last month, we were talking about all the crabs that came out in the spring?
Oh, yeah, the crab. We have a good season for crabs.
How wonderful a season of crabs it was. Well, guess what? Apparently, because it was such a mild winter and spring was so warm, and we had so many crabs so early, now they're getting scarce.
You're kidding.
No, there are some
restaurants. We went from having an abundant amount of crabs to a shortage?
Nobody has, apparently a shortage is an official term. Nobody's officially called it a shortage yet, but they're getting scarce and they're having a hard time filling all the orders at the restaurants and things. So, you know, that means, well, I mean, we're coming to the 4th of July holiday, so everybody does crabs on the 4th of July.
Well,
how hard is it going to be to find them?
I know one thing's for sure. There's going to be lots of corn going with the crabs because we were passing a cornfield yesterday, and guess what? It was high as an elephant's eye. And it's not even the 4th of July.
And they're not harvesting yet, right? Are they? I don't think they're harvesting yet.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's some tall crops out there.
Yeah.
And some that are not because they are bone dry.
Yeah.
Very, very dry.
Hey, we were talking about our boxing, we'll call him a legend.
Legend.
Yes, he's a legend.
Early legend.
Fernando Guerrero. Of course, he had an injury not too long ago.
A couple months ago, yeah.
He suffered a partially torn bicep in a sparring match. He's 23-1 with 18 knockouts, and will square off with Jose Medina on the undercard of the
Amir Khan Danny Garcia card. That's going to be July 14th in Vegas.
I guess the point of that is he's back.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back in the ring.
Let's hear it for Fernando. He's back.
Go get him, Fernando.
Was there any doubt that he would come back? And he's coming back strong and keeping that good record.
Can't wait to see how all this goes on. So I'm going to try to put a kayak in the water. Have you got plans for the weekend?
I do. I think we're going to hit the beach.
Yeah.
Do things like that. Of course, we have a pool, so we'll be spending a lot of time with that, or in that.
Pool beach. What's it going to be?
Yeah, water.
In case you happen to be in Salisbury, there is going to be something else for you to do. It's the Wounded Warrior Poker Run. Greg Shreves is an organizer of the event. He says there's going to be stops at Delmar, Federalsburg, Cambridge, and Vienna. Now, here's the deal. If you ride a bike, stop by Mr. Paul's Legacy. It's a restaurant on North Salisbury Boulevard. They are hosting the ride. Now, here's some of the details. The check-in is tomorrow morning between 8 and 9. Of course, go through all the stops, do your poker run. Check back in by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon because there's an after party there at Mr. Paul's Legacy. Okay. Also going to be a 50-50 raffle, silent auction, and DJ Wookie.
DJ Wookie.
Wookie's going to have the music.
That's going to be fun.
If you haven't seen Wookie, you need to see Wookie.
Right.
Large time.
Right.
Whole bunch of fun.
If you have Facebook or Twitter or anything, or if you were breathing yesterday, you you heard about Obamacare, healthcare plan.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're not going to talk about it.
Not going to launch into it today.
No, not going to. Well, I don't plan to launch into it anytime,
Okay.
not on this show. But anyway, we are going to talk about what happened yesterday during that Supreme Court ruling. Of course, the networks, the cable news networks were all chomping at the bit. They wanted to be the first. Wanted to be the first to get it. First to get it. Get it on there. We want it first. Well, guess what? 2 networks, CNN, Fox, got it wrong. I guess they just weren't just...
Well, I think originally they were supposed to make the announcement at 10, and they pushed it off to 11, and they thought, I don't know, maybe there was a lot of presumption about what was really going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, you may remember this picture from 1948. Do you remember President Harry Truman holding up the Chicago Tribune that erroneously reported that Thomas Dewey beat him? Big deal in the day of, haha, they got it wrong. Well, here's the picture that came out most recently. This spoof, this parody of Obama holding up his iPad on the CNN website saying that it had been struck down in heaven. I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think he'd be smiling if it was struck down.
Well,
we're not going to talk about it.
He's smiling because they got it wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Okay.
So that's the deal there.
That's enough of that.
So you want to run for public office in Somerset County?
No.
Show me your checkbook if you do. Somerset County officials, they're a little disappointed in what ended up coming out of Annapolis, but they're not very surprised. They were asking for an exception to the rule that political candidates have to divulge all their financial assets. Now, when they say all of them, that means everybody in the house. In other words, if you've got a kid that works somewhere at a fast food restaurant, they have to divulge their finances as well. It's 9 pages of financial statement to be able to run for public office.
Right, right. We've talked about this before, yeah.
And a lot of people were having issues with that, and they said, nope, sorry, you got to do it too.
Really?
And local people are saying, well, you know, I don't want to, that's not your business.
Yeah.
I don't want to share all that. And it's not like they're trying to hide anything, but those are some personal numbers. So now they're afraid that not as many people are going to run for office.
Yeah.
And I'd have to think about it. I mean, I don't have anything to hide, but I don't know if I'd want to share it with everybody.
Yeah, yeah. It's not fair to your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just the kids are living in the house, or would it be adults?
They've got to be living in the house.
Okay.
From what I read, kids that are living in the house, they have to submit a financial statement for them.
That's interesting.
As well. So.
Don't get it.
We'll see how that goes. A lot of laws passed in Virginia.
Yeah, everywhere. I mean,
everywhere,
it's the end of the fiscal year, right?
Right.
And so July 1st, a lot of laws are going to be taking effect.
Right. We passed a lot in Maryland, passed a lot in Delaware, passed a lot in Virginia, most recently. You are probably aware that when people, and I'm not sure exactly what the numbers are, but when people have been convicted of drunk driving, they're required to install a thing called an ignition interlock. Now, what that does is it doesn't let you start your car if you've been drinking. That's what the intention of the thing is. In Virginia, after the second offense, you got to put it on your car.
Right.
And
it's something you.
It's a breathalyzer kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That you breathe into before you can turn on the car. And the question came up as, well, it's a great idea. It's a wonderful thing. It's a good thing. It's a good idea. I mean, how many times have we heard these stories about people that have been arrested and given their 7th, their 8th, their 9th DUI? What is that all? How can that happen?
Right, right.
So what they're doing is after the second one, but the question is,
who pays for it?
Whoever gets convicted has to pay for it.
Okay.
But how do you know it's the right guy blowing into it? In other words, and this won't happen. I'm taking a chance on saying it, but this doesn't happen. If I were to be out drunk and I had Zachary with me, what's going to keep him from blowing into it so I can drive?
So you can start your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
There's got to be something to it.
I don't know how that one works.
We're figuring that out.
But it's interesting. Yeah. But that's just one of the many bills that were passed, laws that were passed, I should say. Yeah.
So has the whole scissors thing ever happened to you with the kids?
Oh, you mean, yeah.
Has that ever happened to anybody here? Have you had the kids pick up the scissors, say, oh yeah, this will cut hair?
Yeah. And like the older kid, I mean, now we're talking like my 5-year-old decided to cut my 3-year-old daughter's hair, tried to when I saw the hair, tried to say it was the Barbie's hair.
No.
Yes, I think
This
we've
really
all been
happened to
through
you.
that. That really did happen
really
to
did.
me. I'm like, that's not Barbie here.
Well, it's funny that you should say 5-year-old and 3-year-old because here's what happened. 5-year-old Sadie Cohen decided to cut her 3-year-old sister Eva's hair. Now, her dad is a reporter for National Public Radio, NPR. His name's Jeff Cohen. And he decided, after the fact, after everybody calmed down a little bit, to interview them about what was described as the worst haircut in the world. Here's a little, this is not the whole thing. This is just a little excerpt. Listen to this.
Did you mean to cut off that much hair?
No.
How much hair did you want to cut off?
Well, I was just trying to cut off the curls.
And why did you think she needed a haircut?
Because it was all the way down to her. It was almost about down to her tush. And if she grew it any longer, it would like when she wiped her butt, her hair would like go into the toilet, and it would be gross.
And that'd be gross.
This interview went on for almost 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And what we will do is, if you want to hear the entire thing, and it will
It's
be the
worth it.
best 3 minutes of your life. It is so cute. We'll put that on DelmarvaLife.com so that you can find it. It's great.
Still to come on Delmarva Life, how much of a difference does our speed really make when it comes to saving gas? An expert is here to weigh in and share some summer travel tips.
Plus, a few out-of-the-box ideas to stretch your summer vacation dollars.
And where on Delmarva is Brian? That's the big question. He's keeping it a secret.
Well, we're going to reveal where he is a little closer to the end of the show, but until then, he's giving us clues. Right, Brian?
Right, Jimmy and Lisa. Some of the clues may help, some of them may not, but here is clue number 1. The town I am in is 2.2 square miles in size. More clues to come. Some may get easier, some harder. You'll have to see. Stay with us. You're watching Delmarva Life. We will be right back.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. And your local York and Mitsubishi dealers.